Hi people, welcome to Christelligencebyagnes. My name is Agnes. I want to thank you so much for subscribing. We have 50 subscribers and I'm grateful for each and every of my subscribers. I want to thank you so much for subscribing to this channel. You inspire me, and if you've not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click that red button below and subscribe now. Click that bell button below so you will know when I post videos. Last week I made a video encouraging us to be different as Nigerian youth. There's so much going on in the world, in the black community. There's so much going on affecting women. There's so much going on in the world right now, and I feel that as youths, as young people, we can have a different mentality that can help us be great leaders of tomorrow. Okay, let's get to this week's gist. This week, I feel this is the right topic for this season because this is rainy season here in Nigeria, West Africa, and this is the season where you just want to hold somebody, cuddle with somebody. So let us talk about sex. I had a bit of private conversations with people on my own, and I got different response from different Christians on what they think about sex, especially single Christians that are not yet married. And from my conversations, some topics, some questions came up, and I'm going to read some of the questions out so that we can have a broad view about it. Okay, a question here says, what is the standard of God for sex? What is the standard of God for sex? Is there any standard? What does some are saying what the Old Testament standard is different from the New Testament standard. Some are saying, oh, before Christ the standard was this, and after Christ the standard was this. What is God's standard? Another question says, has God's standard changed? This is 2020. Do we still need to apply certain standards of God when it comes to sex? Really? This is 2020. Another question says, does God care? Like, does God care? You think the Almighty God is thinking about who you have sex with or when you have sex? Does God care? That's a question. One says, how would you know if you're sexually compatible with your partner before you enter marriage? If you do not have sex, how would you know about your sexual compatibility? Another question says, if God did not want us to have sex, why did he create it? If God doesn't want us to have sex, why did he create it? Another one says, I'm under grace. This doesn't count. I can do whatever I want. I'm under grace. I don't want to have this conversation about sex. I'm under grace. I'm under a new regime. This is not what God is concerned about. Another question says, are you trying to judge me? Because every time people want to talk about sex with single people, it's either are trying to judge them, condemn them, trying to make them feel really, really bad, or sanctimonious, so someone is feeling holier than thou. Another one says, once you've done it, keep doing it. There is no point. You've already had sex before. The question is, why not keep doing it? Why not keep having sex? That is one question. Another question says, you cannot know if someone loves you or lusts after you until you have sex with them. One says that, oh, until you have sex with them, you cannot know whether they love you or they're lusting after you. That when you people have sex, that is when you people we know. Another one says, sex is the major reason why marriages fail, because people do not have sex before marriage. Then when they marry, they now realize that they are not compatible, and that is a major concern in marriage. Another question says, oh, my influencer approves of it. My influencer on social media, she's a Christian, is a single Christian, she's a single Christian, and my influencer approves of me having premarital sex. Since my influencer approves of it, my influencer says we can do it, so I'm not even going to find out what the standard of God is. Some people are like, I'm going to do it. Another question here reads, my leader has approved of me having sex because my leader is aware that I'm engaged, so why do I not need to have sex with my partner? Some are asking, oh, but my leader has already just said I must not have sex, so I must not have sex. Some are saying that our parents did it and their marriage worked. Some are even saying that the reason why our parents had a good marriage was because they knew each other sexually before they got married. And the reason why we're having divorces now is because our parents did not know each other. These are questions. Okay, some people have the opinion that says they prove that marriages that have sex before marriage work better than people that don't have sex before marriage. What do you think? this is a video where I really want to have all the questions so that we can explore, so that we can research. What do you think about sex before marriage? As a Christian, what is your opinion? I really want to know. As a believer, I really want to know what you think about sex. Use the scriptures that you understand. Please comment below. I really need your help on this one. What do you think God said about sex? Do you think since it's 2020, it's 2020, what are we talking about? Do you think, I did it yesterday, why do I need to start living differently today? I'm not an hypocrite. What exactly do you think about sex? The truth about it is we cannot run away from this topic. It is right there in our face every day. It is in our movies, it is in our conversations, especially as single people. We cannot run away from conversations about sex. I know most people don't want to talk about it. Let everybody just mind their business. But we are in the business of minding the Bible. So as a Christian, we have to really be conscious about what God is saying. Some people believe that since they are under grace, they can do anything they want and that doesn't matter. Some people will say, I've done it, so God should just forget that chapter of my life. What conversation do you think the Christian community should be having when it comes to sex, especially with the single youths? Do you think we should be having conversations like, do not have it, and that is it? Do you think there are things we need to talk about? For example, some people will tell you, once you started kissing, just go all the way. Some will tell you once you've thought about it in your mind, why not just do it anyway? These are the conversations that we need to have as Christians, because let's be honest, these topics are right there in our face, especially for single people, and especially if you've been single for a very, very long time. Start to ask yourself certain questions. Lots of people face challenges where they meet people, they walk away from them because when you tell these people, I don't want to have sex before marriage, they just walk away from you. What do we do about that? People have concerns like, all the people that want to be with me, they say they must have sex with me, and that is the reason why I'm still single for the past so number of years. What do you think about that? Do you think that there are no longer Christians who want to be celibate? Do you think that all Christians are just open-minded with sex? Do you think that as long as I'm faithful to one partner and I'm having sex with one person, God, it doesn't really matter? What do you think? I really want to know what you think, and I really want to know the conversation that you think we should be having in the Christian community. Now, especially for single people, this video is for single people. Single people if you have not gotten married. So let me say this video is for unmarried people, whether you're in a relationship, whether you're not in a relationship. What do you think? I know you have personal questions that you want to ask when it comes to this topic. Why not send me an email at christelligencebyagnes@gmail.com. And if you prefer to reach out to me on social media, you can reach out to me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm at Agnes. Send me a DM and let us talk about the things that you really think are important. As Christians, do you think we are running away from this conversation? Do you think that this conversation has expired and there is no need for us to have conversation about sex anymore? Let everybody just mind their business and do what they feel is right. What exactly do you think the Christian community, especially Christian unmarried community, should be talking about when it comes to sex? Are you also those that feel holy, sanctimonious, and righteous and feel like there is no conversation here? Do not have sex before marriage. That is it. Or you feel there's some gray areas that we can explore. The truth about it is that no matter where we shift it to, we are human beings and we have real concerns, genuine concerns. Also, as a parent, and you have single youth, teenagers, what do you think? What kind of conversations should we be having about sex? Also, what do you think about pornography? What do you think about masturbation? What do you think about sex toys? These are questions and topics that are out there that we really need to have a perspective about. Watching a video about this, artist, I'm not going to mention the name, and they had premarital sex and had a child from it. And that wasn't even, enough. They went ahead to talk about it, and they had this, not so much direct approval of it. And I was wondering, okay, what do people, I read the comments under, and there were so many things people were saying, and I'm like, this is a conversation that we need to have. It's high time as Christians, the Christian community, let us set a tone. We can't just be following the things of the world. What do we think? In-house Christians, what do you think? Please send me an email. I need to know what you think. Comment below. Let me hear you out. And next week, I'm going to be sharing what people think about. If you have scriptures to support, please send those scriptures. I really want to see your perspective. If you believe that sex before marriage is okay, if you have any scriptures, please send it to me. I want to hear you. If you have scriptures and you're like, no sex before marriage, I want to hear you. I really, really, really love to hear what you think about sex before marriage, so that next week when we come back, we're going to share everything that we think, and then we're going to really look at it and do an in-depth research. So please do your research, and reach out to me. I'm here. I really want to hear what you think. So that's it for this week on Christelligence. Next week, I'm going to be airing everybody out. I want the conversation to be honest, and I want the conversation to be real. So please participate with me. I can only do this with you. All right, thank you for watching this week's video. Next week, I am coming back with hot gist. If you have stories that you want to share, please share with me real life stories about things that you think about sex, premarital sex, the things you've seen. If we have, experienced people out there, you're married, and there are certain things that you really feel that you've learned and you really want to share, please share with me. Send me an email, christelligencebyagnes@gmail.com. I've put all the links below. I really need to hear from you. So I'm looking forward to hearing from you, and I will see you next week, where we will now talk about what we think when it comes to sex before marriage. So don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you next week on Christelligence.